Joe Rogan is apparently suing MSNBC for lying and saying he was taking horse tranquilizer in the ass, and also saying that he was gonna vote for Kamala Harris.
All right, guys, I'm just going to start talking like that from now on. Going forward, I might even start my own channel where all I do is talk in a British accent or whatever that was. I got it from watching Love is Blind. And let me tell you, it is a very good show. If you want to sit there and watch people get hammered and then do blind dating through a wall and in 3 days say they love each other and then run out.
Oh my goodness.
For the first time to see each other and then either be disgusted or extremely happy that they got a really lucky pick, because let's be honest, yeah, love can be blind, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot better if you come out and the person you picked is good looking. And then, or it could suck if you're actually in that position and you walk out and you're just like some like gremlin, and then they're handsome and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Or the other person's like, oh my gosh. And then they go through with it. For some reason, they always decide to not break up before the wedding, but bring everybody's family there just to say no in front of all of you. Dragged grandma out of the house, you dragged mom out of the house, and then you stand in front of them and you say no, and you embarrass the other person, you run out. And that's the whole gist of the show right there. I gave you everything you needed to know. But the UK version is super good, and it's out right now if you want to watch it. Enough about that. Joe Rogan was apparently suing MSNBC for around $30 million because they took a clip of his out of context where he was actually talking about Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Harris and saying that he had a lot of appreciation for Tulsi, and saying quite the opposite about Kamala Harris. Now, MSNBC took the clips, cut it up, posted it on their feed, and basically said that Trump or Joe was endorsing Kamala Harris. Here's the clip.
Well, it all bothers me. It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. You know, that so everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all time. And then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got me started, Officer Harris. So, they've been doing this live for years. So in 2019, our pal Tulsi absolutely nuked her in that second debate. And
Right.
if you looked at charts at the time, she's kind of, Officer Harris is like doing okay. First debate she comes out, Joe Biden, you're a racist. The Democrats were looking for an alternative to Bernie Sanders that wasn't Biden. She starts going up in the polls, right? Second debate comes out. Tulsi, being a good Hawaiian, knows how to roast the pig. Just completely slams her. Not only that, she has no counterpunch. She goes on Anderson Cooper and she's like, well, I'm a top tier candidate, so of course people are going to take shots at me. That's her answer. She immediately starts going down in the polls. It's that day. You can see it on the chart I have on my Twitter. All the articles at the time that did an autopsy on Kamala Harris's failed campaign didn't mention Tulsi once.
Yeah.
It was BBC, LA Times, Reuters, New Yorker. A guy from the Washington Post just did a piece looking back on her campaign, didn't mention Tulsi either.
The debate that is being mentioned right now between Tulsi and Kamala Harris was actually a really popular one during the time, and I remember it. So I went and found the clip, and here it is.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep
Thank you,
cash bail
Congresswoman.
system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Wild?
They completely pretend it didn't happen.
Well, it just shows you that what they're looking for is not what they say they're looking for.
Yes.
Because she is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit, so she got to see people blown up by the war. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. All those things you want.
But
And
she's
yet
not-
you don't want her.
Because she's not for war.
Yes.
'Cause
Well,
she's not
she's
for the
also
mission.
just not willing to play ball. There's a game that's being played. And if you're like, hey, you're not supposed to fucking move the ball. Like, oh, look at this bitch over here. Like, get out of here. You're going to fuck up our game. It's not real democracy. It's controlled parties.
All right, so that was the original clip of Joe Rogan talking about Tulsi and Kamala Harris, and that is exactly where MSNBC took the clip and edited it and then posted it. Here's actually Tulsi's response, because once she saw what MSNBC did, she stepped up and said, this is wrong. Joe didn't say that, and here's why.
MSNBC was exposed today for yet another set of lies. They deceptively edited together this video of different Joe Rogan comments to make it appear that he was singing the praises of Kamala Harris.
She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. She is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. They just want no Trump, no matter what.
This is not reflective at all of the truth of what Joe Rogan said. And I think MSNBC has since taken this post down. But what's really serious here is that not only does Joe Rogan deserve an apology, there's actually something far bigger at stake here. This is yet another example of how MSNBC is working hand in glove with the Democrat elite and the Kamala Harris campaign to try to spread lies, simply things that are not true. So what this means is MSNBC is a for-profit corporation. They are helping Kamala Harris's election campaign, and what they are doing through their platform would qualify as an in-kind contribution to her campaign. It's worth a lot of money. The fact that they are doing this should require the Federal Elections Commission that manages campaign spending and campaign finance, require them to report this as an in-kind campaign contribution or to be punished for abusing their position in trying to use their platform that has nothing to do with journalism. It is purely a propaganda platform, and that they are using this in order to try to help Kamala Harris get elected.
All right, so you heard it there. She's saying what we already kind of know, that news media outlets are biased. They are not unbiased. They clearly play a side. I mean, look at Fox, look at CNN. They're all pushing an agenda. But I think Tulsi is trying to say that by MSNBC crafting this message and blatantly lying to people, they are legally obligated to come forward and endorse Kamala Harris. And I could be completely wrong by that, but I think that's what she means by endorsing them. Now, Joe Rogan actually responds to everything that's being said. The news had come out that he was suing. That's not true. So he says it right off the bat in this interview with Dr. Huberman, which is probably going to be a really good podcast. I've only seen this clip. It came out today, and I'm going to be showing that to you right now.
Right.
They're
Or
not
people
having
are trying to politicize something.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
or they're trying to get clicks off your name.
There's a lot of that for sure. So there's a business in that, and then there's also people that are doing, like MSNBC did this recently, and this has gotten so popular that my fucking stepdad contacted me to tell me he's happy that I'm suing MSNBC. I'm like, I'm not suing MSNBC. But this is what MSNBC did. They took a clip of me talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and they edited it up and made it look like I was saying great things about Kamala Harris.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been mashed up on other stuff
Yeah.
and AI, and I don't want to, like you said, we don't want to draw attention that got taken off the internet. Thank goodness, but it was bullshit. It was
Yeah.
like it was AI and mashup.
Yeah, there's a lot of
but they did
AI
that
ads
about
with us.
They did that
Yeah.
about politics.
Yes, they did it about politics, but they didn't do it like AI. They just deceptively edited the things that I was saying, took it completely out of context. Where I was talking about, first of all, I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and then I was talking about that the media behind Kamala Harris, all this surge and all these people just deciding that she's good, she could win, and they put the two of those together and made it seem like I was praising Kamala Harris and saying a bunch of things that aren't even true about her. Like I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard being a congresswoman for 8 years and about how she served overseas, two deployments in medical units dealing with people who were blown up from the war. Like that's not something Kamala Harris did. It's something Tulsi Gabbard did. I was just saying things about her, and they put it out there as a clip of me praising Kamala Harris. But they don't care about the truth. They just want a narrative to get out there amongst enough people, because most people are just surface readers, right? They read a headline, and I'd be guilty of that many times. You read a headline, oh, I know what that is, and then you shut your laptop. I got it now. I got the whole. So if you read an article that says, you know, Andrew Schultz is a liar, like, oh, he's a liar. I heard he's a liar, and then you just start repeating he's a liar. It doesn't have to be real. And so all they have to do with, so like, how many people are actually going to watch my Netflix special? Well, it was a lot, but compared to the amount of people in the country, not a lot. You know, small percentage. So all you have to do is take something out of context from someone who's never going to watch it in the first place, put it in front of them, like, oh, that piece of shit. Can't believe he said that. Even though I'm literally talking about things being taken out of context.
All right, so there you have it. I hope this paints a full picture for you, and you can come up with your own opinions about what was said. And I want to know what you're thinking about the whole situation. So drop a comment, and I'll see you next time.